Welcome to Keep What You Earn, your judgment and jargon-free zone for entrepreneurs of all levels. Get ready to learn how to scale your business, save money in taxes, and create a business that grows your wealth. If it feels like the financial side of business is like eating your vegetables, well, then think of this podcast as the ranch dressing to make the process a little more enjoyable. My name is Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CPA and business owner on a mission to simplify money and empower others through knowledge. I hope this episode inspires you to take action, but remember that the information we share is for educational purposes only and is not individual tax advice. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show. So this is going to be a really quick episode, but I wanted to prompt you with a few questions because recently, this past year, I got really clear on some spending habits I was dipping into. I'm, like the personal trainer who also eats cookies. Like, I'm not perfect. I am sometimes an overspender. I definitely am optimistic about how I invest my money coming back to me and returning to me and being willing to take a few risks here and there. So I had to get really conscious this year around my spending and where I was allocating certain resources in the business. And one thing that came up for me was this kind of mindset, especially as we grew the team. And I have a team of 7 now, which is crazy to me. But as we grew the team, I started having these conscious decisions. And really, like, this is actually real. Is I asked myself these two questions whenever I was making a big spending decision. And I would encourage you to think about this as well. Just what comes up for you when I say these. Number one is, as I'm spending this money, what if my team could see this? Like, what if my team had complete line of sight into what I was spending on, and what would they think about it? Number two is, what if my customers could see this and what I'm spending my money on? I was like, ooh, I actually went through this is an interesting exercise, by the way. I went through my prior year P&L and I said, would I be proud to hand a copy of this? Now, confidentiality and stuff aside, hand a copy of this to my team and to my clients so they had complete visibility into where Shannon's, keep what you earn resources are going to. Would it align with the goals and the values that I preached to everybody in that group? Hey, Shannon here, and I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying this podcast and enjoying this episode, please leave us a review on your podcast platform, whether that's Apple, Spotify, Amazon, any of them, and let us know if you're enjoying the show. One of your biggest takeaways, we would really, really appreciate it. Okay, back to the show. And it was an interesting conversation I had with myself where I was like, not necessarily. And I go, why? Well, I said yes to a few things here. I had no accountability to saying yes to this. I gave this the benefit of the doubt. I hired the wrong people here, cost me more money. But I think if you hold yourself, even in a kind of a pretend way, you hold yourself accountable to your team and to your customers and said, what if this P&L accidentally got email blasted by the intern to our entire customer base? Hey, Shannon here, and I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying this podcast and enjoying this episode, please leave us a review on your podcast platform, whether that's Apple, Spotify, Amazon, any of them, and let us know if you're enjoying the show. One of your biggest takeaways, we would really, really appreciate it. Okay, back to the show. If they saw this, would we be proud of it? Could we justify this? Could we answer questions on this? And it's a really interesting thought because I don't think there are many people out there who would necessarily want to do something like that. It might actually just give you kind of like a shot of adrenaline. Oh my God, if that happened, oh, why? Other than obvious privacy reasons. But, would you be embarrassed by anything on that P&L? Why? And if so, why? Just why? Why would you be embarrassed? Can you dig a little bit deeper into that? And how would you explain it? I specifically like the team one though, because in a way, by sharing the financial results with the team, I'm a little bit more accountable. And this year we started sharing some of those results with the team, which is why I'm saying this is actually really real for me now, is my operations manager, Courtney, can actually go in and see our P&L end to end, and she's helping manage it. She's finding opportunities to cut costs. She's finding opportunities to eliminate waste and things like that. And what's great is she has a line of sight into that. And she's asking thoughtful questions of me and holding me accountable to those spending decisions. I also know that if we're going to enroll in any new services or we're going to sign up for something, that she's going to see it. And I know that theoretically, my team looking at the P&L, the question that will run through their minds, I guess at a surface level, is whether or not I can justify making that expense over a reinvestment on them. So if it was like a pay raise to them or that expense, could I argue a case to say, here's why I didn't give you a raise and I invested in this instead? Here's the business case as to why we needed this, or here's why this was the right time to invest in that, and convince them. Now, I do not suggest, by the way, actually doing this. I do not suggest, like, in a small company, handing out copies of your P&L to the whole team with no context and asking them to push you to justify all the spending that you've done. I feel like this could be a recipe for disaster. This is simply call it a journaling exercise, call it kind of a reflection exercise to think about. So if you're currently in your workout, on a walk, on a drive, give it some thought. Write down these two questions. What if my team could see this? What if my customers could see this? And the next time that you're making a big purchasing decision or an investment decision, ask yourself that, because I think it's just really insightful. And it doesn't mean that you're going to say no to these things, but I think you have to say yes or no consciously, knowing that, hey, I don't think my team would approve of this expense. Let me just think about this and why it may not make sense, why my gut says that this isn't aligned and I'm doing it anyway. And just be able to have that moment to acknowledge it, reflect on it, and make that a conscious decision. I think that would be the most helpful. As you think about growing and scaling your business, it's important to focus on how your operating costs align with your profit and personal goals. Are you allocating your resources wisely? Are your expenses supporting growth, or are they holding you back? Building a sustainable and profitable business takes intentional budgeting and regular assessments of where your money's actually going. Now, with a power session, you can get personalized strategies to help your businesses thrive. Check out the show notes for more information on power sessions and how we can work with you to create the profit plan your business needs for a successful 2025.